Alrighty, knobhead in a cowboy hat here, Burt Green, about to break down some fights. This is the Burt Lockers Casuals Guide for UFC Fight Night 252, headlined by Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong. And I'll be honest, at first I kind of glanced at the card and I wasn't that excited about it. The more I researched this card, the more excited I got. There's some interesting betting lines on this one, in particular on the Brendan Allen fight. Let's get cracking. So we'll start off Modestas Bukauskas taking on Rafael Sequeira. I'm not super familiar with Sequeira. They're both identical in reach and in height. Now, Bukauskas is Lithuanian English. Saw him in Cage Warriors a fair amount, so I'm quite familiar with him. He's got a good kickboxing style, solid leg, solid head kicks, and yeah, he's good. He's good in and out. He uses footwork well, uses range, and he hits pretty hard. Sequeira, I don't know too much about, if I'm being totally honest. He's decent on the regional scene. He's had one UFC fight and he was stopped. Modestas should be too much for him in this one, in my opinion. I think the knockout is probably coming. Modestas should be knocking guys like this out, in my opinion. So probably bet the house on the other guy on my current track record. So you've got Nursultan Hisaboev from Uzbekistan taking on Eric Makoniko. This is the middleweight. Now, Hisaboev, he's a huge middleweight. He's 6'5", which is ridiculous for middleweight, really. 34 wins, 32 finishes. The dude is a monster. I don't think I need to say much more than, he's a 6'5" Uzbekistan guy with 32 finishes. Obviously, we know what's happening there. We know what he's doing. Eric, the Sacrificial Lamb Monaco, is what I've called him. 9-2 on the regional circuit. Look, I don't think he really has much of a chance in this one. But hey, look, he's not going in there to lose. I am taking Hisaboev. I'm taking the knockout, though. I think he's probably going to get the ground and pound knockout in that one. Nikolai Veretennikov, 12-4, taking on Austin, Mr. Paige Van Zandt Vanderford. Catch weight, 175 pounds. This was very recently added to the card. Not hugely sure why. Veretennikov, he's Ukrainian. He's quite big for, I'm assuming he normally fights at welterweight. 6'1" for a welterweight is pretty tall. It's his UFC day. He lost a split decision in his UFC debut. He has got 9 knockouts on 12 wins. So the guy can hit. He is quite good. Austin Vanderford, all the Paige Van Zandt jokes aside, he is pretty good. He's strong. He's durable. He's got decent wrestling. He usually tries to kind of outwork his opponent. He's not 4-0. Don't let the UFC website fool you. He's not 4-0. He's 12-2, which is perfectly respectable. He lost to the only people he lost to were quite good. He lost to Gegard Mousasi, got stopped in that one. He seems to struggle. The times we've seen him get beaten is when he's been fighting a very good striker. And unfortunately, I think Veretennikov is quite a good striker. He's going to be taller. I think I could see Veretennikov getting the knockout here. That's what I'm going for in that one. Ricky Simone taking on Havid Basharat, the Afghanistan phenom. So, Ricky Simone, he's been around forever, right? Yeah, he's very, very good as well. You have to be, because look at one of the names on his resume. He beat Murad Dvalishvili. That was the one where no one was quite sure if he was out, if he wasn't. But either way, Ricky Simone won that fight, and he looked very, very good. He's not been on the best form recently, and the UFC are doing him no favours with this matchup, if I'm being completely honest. Now, Basharat, he is a beast. He's an ice-cold killer. He's struggled a little bit lately, though, honestly. He's not looked like the unbeatable form he's been on. This one, I could see it being a real banana peel. But Ricky Simone is a massive underdog. But Ricky Simone, he's very physically strong, and he's got very good grappling, great chokes. I'm rolling with Ricky Simone here. I'm taking the submission because I just think that Simone is probably slightly better than the bookmakers are giving him credit for. So if I were you, I'd put the house on Basharat, because my predictions are bloody awful. Mansur Abdul Malik, 7-0 against Nick Klein, 1-0 middleweights. I don't know if he actually is 1-0 or not. Either way, I don't know much about either of these two. Abdul Malik, he's one of the biggest favourites on the card, but I always make my picks before I look at the odds. Now, I will be honest. So he's undefeated. He got a first round stoppage in his UFC debut. That's all I know about him, really. Nick Klein, all I know about this dude is that he looks like he's about to knock over a liquor store, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it in a big way. And that's why I'm taking Nick Klein. I'm taking Nick Klein by submission. And that's an awful pick because he's one of the biggest underdogs on the card. And when the underdogs are that big, there's usually a good reason for that. But I stand by my picks. I stand by them. They may not be good, but I stand by them. And I'll always be honest. Like I say, I do my picks before I look at the odds. And I picked Nick Klein. So that's who I'm going with. Andre Fili taking on Melquizel Costa. I'm just going to call him Costa for this because I don't know how to pronounce his first name. I do apologise. Melquizel, I think. Anyway, Andre Fili, look, he's been around a long time. He's really talented. He's got a great nickname. He's called Andre Touchy Fili, which is wonderful. When he's on point, when he turns up, he is elite. He's as good as anybody. He just doesn't always turn up. That's the biggest problem with Andre Fili. Costa, he's not been in the UFC too long, but he's looked really, really impressive. His last fight, he played spoiler against Nurmberg Shaylan. I don't think he was expected to win that one, and he did. He looked really, really good. For me, Andre Fili, he's too unreliable to pick to win. Fili has gone. He won his last fight, and Andre Fili hasn't won 2 fights in a row since 2020. And I don't see it happening here. I'm taking Costa by submission because Costa's got excellent grappling, very, very good submissions. So I could see the submission in that one. The odds, you get a 9-1 on the submission for Costa. That's not bad. There's some value in that. Ion Cutelaba takes on Ibo Aslan. Now, Ibo Aslan's out of Turkey. The Ion Cutelaba, just to summarise him, he's this monster out of Moldova. He's brilliant. I absolutely love him. They call him the Hulk. He sometimes paints himself green at the weigh-ins. He's monstrous, right? In the first round, he's monstrous. He starts fast. He doesn't really measure himself. He's reckless, but I'm here for it. I'm a big fan of Ion Cutelaba. Win or lose, I will watch this dude fight because he brings it every time. Every time he'll either win spectacularly or he'll lose devastatingly. There is no in between when it comes to Ion Cutelaba. Unfortunately, they are matching him up against a Turkish monster, the last Ottoman, Ibo Aslan. Now, this guy I've heard of. He's 14 wins, 14 knockouts. He's stopped people with leg kicks. His punches, he's slick, he's fast, he's powerful. He's the next big thing at 205. Ibo Aslan. Remember that name. No, not Bilal Muhammad, because he's pretty forgettable. Ibo Aslan. You're not going to have to be told to remember his name because he's probably one of the next big things at 205. You never know. Ion Cutelaba, look, he hits hard. So Ion's not going in there to lose. Either way, I'm taking Ibo Aslan, knockout early. It'll be fast. It'll be fun. Title of my sex tape. Alonzo Menafield versus Julius Walker. So Menafield, he's a beast, former linebacker, Alabama, I believe. He hits like a truck. He's not the most technical, but his footwork can sometimes let him down. He sometimes gets caught against some of the better strikers and overwhelmed. But don't let that fool you. He hits like an absolute truck, and he's a great athlete as well. Julius Walker is his UFC debut. He's undefeated on the regional scene. I've not really seen him fight. He's got 6 wins, all finishes. They call him Juice Box. He's a little bit taller, so he has the reach. I'm rolling with the devil I know in this one. I'm taking Alonzo Menafield to get the knockout, but it'll be interesting to see what Walker is about because he could be, you never know. He could be an emerging star. Like I said, it's going to be Ibo Aslan. I'm excited for that one as well, just because, it's this new guys. John Silva taking on Melsik Bagdasarian. Bagdasarian. Okay, I think I got that right. Bagdasarian. This is a featherweight fight, 145 pounds. Now, Silva is another one of these fighting nerds. God, I hate them. Look, I don't hate them. They're all really good fighters, right? You know, Xiao, Baralio, a few of the others. They're fantastic fighters. They're really fun. Just stop with the stupid fake glasses and going, oh, I've got glasses on. I'm such a nerd. Enough of it. Just fight. Get a different gimmick. Either way, look, Silva's an extremely good kickboxer, elite level. Look, that's all there is to say. Bagdasaryan from Armenia, he's probably taking time off from his drug lord empire or people trafficking or whatever he does in his spare time. He's a very high level kickboxer, K1 level actually. I think he was a welterweight title challenger in K1. This is probably fight of the night for me. Stars make fights. These two are going to be kicking the crap out of each other. I'm leaning with the Armenian because he has the reach by decision. That's a terrible one because John Silva's a huge favourite on that. And yeah, the decision for Bagdasaryan, you're getting 6.5 to 1, which is long odds for a reason. Then you've got Rob Font taking on Jean Mutsamato. So this is a catchweight one as well. Now Font, he's a veteran. He's got great boxing. He usually uses his boxing to piece his opponents up and just very durable. Out of Boston, just likes to fight. He's very good. A lot of fun to watch. Matsumoto, undefeated phenom, 2 wins in the UFC. He beat Brad Katona, which I think is a good win. He's got a very good guillotine. Now, as good as Jean Matsumoto is, I could see Rob Font playing spoiler here because he's a very hard man to beat. This is either a launching pad for Matsumoto or it's going to be a learning opportunity. I'm leaning towards learning opportunity. I think we'll see Matsumoto rise in the UFC, but I think that Rob Font gets the decision in that one. Brendan Allen taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez at middleweight. Allen, elite level, he went 7 fights unbeaten, and then he ran into Imavov. Imavov just knocked out Israel Adesanya, so that's how good Imavov is. Allen is elite. Don't let that last loss fool you. Allen is on another level when it hits the ground, particularly rear naked chokes. His back takes are phenomenal. Hernandez is another very good grappler. His ground and pound is also very nasty. His resume lately is elite. He beat Kopylov, he beat Shabazian, he beat Michel Pereira, all finishes. That's impressive. That's very impressive. This is a tough bounce back for Allen, but I do think he gets it done. Because for me, Allen, even against really high level grapplers, like you put him in there against Paul Craig. Paul Craig is an elite level grappler, but Brendan Allen made him look like he was not a good grappler. And that's how good Allen is on the ground. I think this one hits the ground, and I think Allen gets the rear naked choke. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Brandon Allen, to get the rear naked choke, is 11 to 1. That's outrageous odds for somebody who's got the amount of rear naked chokes on his record as Brendan Allen. I'm going to count them up on his record. I know he's got like 14 submissions. So yeah, 14 submissions, right, on 24 wins. And yeah, just recently, rear naked choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got like 10 rear naked chokes there. So to have him as 11 to 1 to get the submission, for me, that's outrageous. That's worth a $5. That's what I'm putting on. Maybe bet the house on it going the complete opposite way, just because that's how my bets have been going lately. Henry Cejudo against Song Yadong. This is the bantamweight division. Now, Cejudo, he's an Olympic level wrestler. Obviously, he's got piston right hand, but that was a few years ago. He's 38 now. He hasn't looked good since he's come back. He just has not. 38 is quite old for 135 pounds. Now, Song Yadong, his boxing is fantastic. He's got elite level body shots. He's only 27. He's just coming into his prime. He's very strong. He's so hard to take down. Freakishly strong, from what I hear. For me, I think Song Yadong's just going to be too much for him. I think Henry's not going to be able to get him to the ground. I think on the feet, Song Yadong's going to piece him up. Over 5 rounds, I think he probably gets the finish. I'm going with a KO, TKO for Song Yadong in that one. And so you put all of my predictions together, that's 3,549 to 1, terrible bet. Put all the methods down. You have to put down 5p, you get 100k return. The reason for that is it's never going to happen. That's why the bookies are so happy to do that. But you're only losing 5p. It's like a lottery ticket, isn't it? And for me, the bet I really like is Brendan Allen, Costa, and Ricky Simone all to get the submissions. Is 1800 to 1. I kind of like that bet. I think all three of those things could happen. They won't. They won't, obviously. So yeah, I've stuck a bit of money on that, and means I'm going to lose that money, obviously. But like I said, I'm having a fiver on Brendan Allen just straight up to get the submission, just because I think those odds are incredible. 11 to 1 for somebody who's got 14 submissions on his record and gets rear naked chokes over guys like no, how did he? I think he got a rear naked choke over Bruno Silva and Paul Craig. Unbelievable. Like, just, yeah. So for me, the bet of the night is Brendan Allen to get the submission. Fight of the night for me, I think, is Sean Silva against Bagdasarian. And all in all, it's going to be a very entertaining fight night, I think. So, yeah, we'll see how these bets come in. Until next time, don't forget, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I like to talk about fights every week. And also have another channel, movie review, 7 thumbs up movie reviews. And yeah, till next time, keep the odds long and the bets terrible.